Olá a todos, sejam muito bem-vindos a mais um episódio aqui do EntreMares Podcast. Este podcast que completa um ano de existência em agosto deste ano, 2024, iniciámos em agosto de 2023. E ao longo desta jornada eu tenho conversado com muitas pessoas, brasileiros e portugueses, com o propósito de fazer do EntreMares esta ponte entre dois países que falam o mesmo idioma, e que trazem as experiências espirituais e conscienciais. Mas hoje eu resolvi trazer algo diferente, foi algo dentro de um processo. Portanto, eu estou a ler pela segunda vez a autobiografia de um yogi e eu gosto de algumas dos seres espirituais que venho descobrindo e que descobri nessa obra. Portanto, Babaji, neste caso. Tive algumas experiências utilizando mantras de Babaji e isso fez com que eu procurasse no YouTube conteúdo ligado a Babaji e descobri o meu convidado de hoje, chama-se Guru Pashupati. Será a primeira vez que eu vou entrevistar em inglês. O meu inglês não é um inglês a 100%, portanto vai ser algo limitado e vamos ver o que é que vai resultar desta conversa. Vai ser muito bom. Portanto, fiquem desse lado. O episódio hoje chama-se O Guru que Conheceu Babaji. The Guru Who Met Babaji, com Guru Pashupati. Fiquem desse lado, vai ser uma conversa muito boa. Sem mais demoras, vou adicionar aqui o Guru Pashupati. Guru Pashupati, I will say good morning, but it's not morning in India.
It is the afternoon.
The afternoon now, okay. So thank you very much. I'm very honored to receive you in my program. It will be the first time that I'm going to do an interview in English. So
That's great.
I'm very excited, man. I do the introduction here, and I said it's the second time I read the autobiography of a yogi. So the India side of spirituality is something that I love, man. I love, and I was searching for Babaji to know more things, and I found you. I saw your interviews, and I'm very honored. And the first question that I used to do in all of my guests is how that start your journey to inside, to spirituality, to become a guru. How start with you?
It started when I was very young, when I was around 4 years old. That's when I realized that people don't know what they're doing. And I didn't want to be one of those people. I wanted to know what I'm doing, and I kept looking for why on earth should I be alive? Why should I get motivated to do anything? What is the purpose if I'm going to die anyway? What's the purpose,
So you think, sorry to interrupt you. So you think it's something that you have in your consciousness by other lives that you have, and because I identify with what you're saying. I always have that need to saw from the perspective out of the box to the idea of the death is going to be the end, or always have the interesting to alien stuff or spirituality stuff. But here we have the Catholic religion, so I grew up with Catholic. But Catholic and religion is not good for me. It's not complete. It's something missing always. So
I think it's been corrupted. It's not been translated exactly like how it was found.
Yes.
And there's been too many modifications. As the country changes, it keeps getting modified.
So
what we practice here in India is not the same what you practice in Portugal.
Yes. So you have that when you are a child. You have that.
I'm sorry?
You have that feeling of not make sense the things in the material world.
Yeah.
So How it that starts? You have you how you
I used to do something when I was a child, which is to see how the other people see me. Okay. So when I see an adult, they're really high up. They're like much taller than me. How do I look to them? I used to imagine that in my mind. That's something I started doing just like that for fun. And
Okay.
then my parents told me about God. They said there's somebody called God, and then God is complicated, and there are so many gods, and it's amazing in India. So I
Yes.
said, great. So how does Shiva see me? That was my next question, and I started seeing it after some time. So this is what spirituality is. For you to be able to see the world from the perspective of God, that's what spirituality is. In
Beautiful.
according, at least the yoga that I've learned, that's what it is. But I was trying very hard to do it, but I needed a guru to show me how does it look from the eyes of God. I didn't
Okay.
know how to do that. I couldn't imagine it.
But
So
your parents do the yoga and
yeah,
know the
yeah,
yoga.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
My father also was a guru.
Oh.
He used to teach people yoga.
But what side of it? Kriya yoga?
No, he was teaching Raja Yoga.
Raja. Okay. So you talk about Shiva. You have experiences in your child? When you are a child, you have experiences?
Yes, yes, I've experienced it. So I kept looking at it,
Yes.
I was getting beaten up by the boys because I had some stammering problems. I wasn't able to speak like this fluently.
Yes.
So I used to stammer with the words and they wouldn't come out. And because of that, they used to bully me so much. And,
Ah,
that at that time, one day it got bad. I got into a fight with them and some stuff happened. And then they took a lot of cow dung and put it on my face. And they made me to sit down at a place where I could watch them play cricket. They wanted me to watch them play cricket with cow dung on my face. So that's when I thought, how does Shiva look at this? And I said, it can't be good. It's not a good thing that you're seeing Shiva. Like this, me, I put up a fight. I don't have knowledge of how to fight, but I went and fought. But I still got a lot of beatings, and you still haven't sent me someone to teach me. I was really angry with him.
yes.
And then he sent my guru. He didn't come like my guru. He came as a Gorkha. You know what a Gorkha is?
Godka.
Gorkha. They are citizens of Nepal, very
Okay.
brave people. Okay.
Okay.
So one of them, Gorkhas, came to me, and I was like, "Why is his head shining like this?" So I saw his head like really shining, and then he told me, "I'll teach you to fight. Come." So then he took me under his wing. He taught me how to fight, and this was not a problem anymore. I scared those boys so much that they would never touch me again, and
Okay.
returned my confidence. Even my speech improved. Everything got
Yeah.
better when my guru came into my life. But
So
I've
I'm
had
gonna
experiences of seeing gods when
yes,
I was around 10 years old.
10.
So 8 or 10, yeah. So I don't know why, one day I was sleeping and Kali appeared in front of me and she said, "You come with me." I said, "Where to?" First, I didn't listen for she was coming every night saying, "Come with me." And then I got up one day. I couldn't bear it anymore. I didn't speak about it to anyone because they'll think that I'm mad. So I didn't speak about it to anyone. I followed her. I got out of my house. I just followed her, and it was great. I mean, she was talking to me. It was great. When we reached the cremation ground, and then they started doing a puja for her. There were some people there. They're called agoris. So I used to sit and do pujas with the agoris when I was 8 years old, and I don't know why. So then I started to accept that that my life is going to be about spirituality, and I
Yes.
don't want to live a life ignoring this, because every time I ignore that there is spirituality, I don't do good in this world. But when I
Yes.
live with God, I do very well.
Yes. It's something that you are, man, and you cannot do another way because you felt it's something missing in you. It's what you are. So I'm gonna ask you this: what age that you are when you the first contact with your guru?
I was 12.
12. Okay.
Yeah.
How is that became? You know, you
He
heard
was the
about
same
him.
guy, the Gurkha who came there. That was my guru. So
Ah,
he came in that form, and he taught me like really well how to fight. That's something I really learned. And
yes,
after
but
that, he left. After that, he left. Then he
okay.
came again when I was 18.
Ah,
And then he told me that you've become very foolish and very arrogant because of your abilities. So now, whatever you judge people, you're going to go through the same thing. Whatever you
interesting.
judge about people, you're going to go through the same thing. So that was a lot of suffering because I had a lot of judgment about people. So he put me in the situation
Yes,
for so many things. He just put me in some bad situations. I became an alcoholic. I lost my health. I became fat, and so many other stuff. I got married. I used to laugh at people who are married, saying, "Look at these stupid people." But then I got married myself. Then I got divorced, and everything that I used to judge people for happened to me
yes,
until I could clearly understand how it feels in that situation. Then I got some real empathy for people, and that's when he allowed me to be a teacher. He came back at the age of 32. Then he took me and then he gave me Siddha Diksha, Purna Siddha Diksha. That
yes,
means the full Siddha knowledge. That's what he gave me, and then he sent me back. And then he said, you have to become fully humble. So you're going to go back, and stuff is going to happen in your life that you're going to become fully humble. And only when you're fully humble, I will come and teach you more. So then he came once. I had become very humble. I had already had a lot of losses. I was literally living in other people's houses because I didn't have a place to stay. I'd become so poor. And uh, one day when I was staying in someone else's house, he pulled me out from the balcony and I was out on a tree. And I met him on a tree. And then he told me that, there's still more stuff for you to learn. You have you have to be sick. You have to be very sick. I said, okay, no problem. Then he made me really, really sick. And then he only taught me how to get out of that sickness. And I had to apply everything that I learned with him in the mountains to get back this body because I had completely lost this body. It had become some other body. So that was the journey with him. And now I am fulfilling my promise. He asked me to teach yoga. So I'm teaching yoga. That's what I'm doing.
man, I have so many things to ask you right now. Things that you talk. Uh, when you say your guru teach you how to defend yourself and fight, it's something very makes me think like some people think spirituality is something like only peace and it's an inside peace, but you need to defend yourself. You have to have a position in society, and to defend yourself it was good for you. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's and you need that how you say affirmation in you that's
Yes.
strong. It
In
will it
India, we are
was
not confused about this. Have you seen our gods? They all got weapons. It's not
Yes,
confusing for us.
it's not
See this
confusing.
Trishul?
Okay.
It's a weapon.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's important you to respect yourself and love yourself. You have to defend yourself and uh, and know the spaces between people. So it was good you to talk about that. And then I want to talk about,
Yes. So there's a difference between non-violence and not knowing violence.
yes.
You should
Is
know violence, but you should be non-violent.
That's what the thing I want to talk about right now, because he has a difference between knowing something and really knowing something. Difference between wisdom, wisdom, and your intellectual side of study. So your guru wants you to live the different things for you to know, for a perspective that you only can know by living, and that's
Yeah.
that's that's the real wisdom. So I can read all of the books that I have to start to uh, comprehend spirituality or have that goal. So some things. I give you an example. It was a time that I was doing a lots of meditation, and I have like not a party, but a festival, and I was with my kids and my wife, and then a blind guy passed by my family and my children, only 3 years old. So he said, get out of the way, like something rude. And I said, hey, man, it's just children, calm down. It's just a second for me to let you pass. And then he became like cursing me very loud. All of the people saw that, and it was very ugly. In that time, I thought I was spiritual level, but I was very angry. So the best thing I should do is exit, take of my family, and don't. The words of that
Yes.
man, and he was a blind man. So I found that it's not the same thing. You have the idea of what's your state, and really having that by wisdom. So
Yeah.
you told things very important. And give me one thing. You talk about your guru when you're an adult. You have astral projection in that time when he was a child, when he was a teenager.
Yeah, I've always had the ability to astral project, even as a child.
So for
I
you, it's
thought
very
everybody
normal.
does it. I thought everyone can do it, but
Yes, yes,
then I realized they can't do it.
yes, yes. So it's very normal for you.
Yeah.
So tell me one thing. When we speak about meditation and yoga, what is real? What is really the, for example, the Kriya Yoga? What is real that, man? I'll explain to us what is the act of meditation. Just because some people think it's just you come down and the thoughts and you only watch the thoughts. What's your experience of
No, no.
meditation?
Look, there's a book called the Yoga Sutra which explains all this,
Okay.
and I'm doing a podcast on it for those who are interested. I'm translating it to simple English so everybody can understand.
Okay.
And in that, meditation is quite clearly defined as dhyana. But in English, the word meditation can mean everything, like from breathing exercises to concentration exercises to, um, yeah, well, to thinking exercises. Everything can be meditation. But dhyan is to dream up something, to see something in a dream. That's what it is. Like you're awake, but you're also dreaming. So that's dhyan. So in that there will be astral projection. All of these will come under dhyan. So this is something, the base for all these skills is something called samadhi. It's a deep inner peace, and it's having the perspective of God. When you have the perspective of God, then all this will work out, because whatever you do dhyan on, whatever you meditate upon, gets created in the world. That's what it's for.
Okay.
So that's really what we understand by meditation. Meditation is manifestation. If you sit and meditate on something, it becomes real for you. So that's what it is. It's a
So it's
way
not.
for you to make your life, for you to create your life.
So
That's
it's
what
not.
Vishnu is doing. Vishnu lying on a big snake. Have you seen it? Have you
Yes.
seen this image?
Yes.
So when Vishnu is lying on a big snake, he is in Yoga Nidra. So Yoga Nidra is one of the deepest meditations that can happen. It starts creating things.
Okay. And what's the symbol of the snakes in that image? What's the meaning behind the snake?
The snake is our most primitive version, and it is still there in our head. The Kundalini is said to be a snake because it doesn't have arms and legs, but it's a very beautiful snake which is there inside our body. And it is when we lie on, when we can conquer the Kundalini energy, and then she lies gently, we can lie on that energy. So we all have the snake on our back. It's our spinal cord and our skull. That's exactly the snake shape. So that's really what it is. And when we awaken it, when it stops being thin like a lion and turns into a big fat snake, that's when you whatever you dream will come true. So you become very particular about your dreams. You have to be careful with your dreams.
It's interesting because you talk about manifestation inside the meditation, and some people have the thought that real spiritual journey is like you ignore the material, and you know, like the idea of a man in the mountains and totally separate by society to have that knowing of himself. But I don't think it's the
What is the point?
yes,
The aware, the consciousness which is within us is formless. It's like a SIM card in a phone. What is the use of a SIM card without a phone? And what is the use of a phone without a SIM card? Not much.
yes,
So like
that's
that, we need both.
we need both, yes. And a guy like Siddhartha Buddha, you know that he have a meditation by days, but then he goes to society again and have these disciples. So
Yeah.
the great masters always have that.
The bodhisattvas are all coming back, right? After they become enlightened, they're all coming back.
Yes, they're all coming back.
Vishnu is coming back again and again. God himself is taking birth. So why shouldn't you enjoy this material world?
Yes, and you talk about Kundalini, and I saw in the interviews, like for example in Brazil, we have I'm Portuguese, but I'm very connected with Brazilian people, and some people talk about Kundalini, and I think it is like a superficial thing because you have to know really what we're talking about. It's not just the energy is by the telluric and the chakras of the more connected to the earth goes by by the chakras above and do the samadhi, like you feel like you are not just like a person, but you are all of the existence. You have the samadhi. You have that feeling.
Samadhi is where everything starts. You have to start with Samadhi. The first chapter of Yoga Sutra is called Samadhi Pada. If you read that chapter and understand what it is, you will have Samadhi. Samadhi is where we have to be. Samadhi is equal vision. Okay, there are three eyes. With one eye we can see ourselves and what we feel, our subjective experience. With another eye we can empathize with others and we can see what they are seeing. That is the eye of empathy. And then there's a third eye, which we can see what God sees. All these eyes have to be really open. Only then you can start yoga. Otherwise, what you're doing is just nonsense. You need three eyes to find the way in yoga.
Yes. So
Kundalini is
the
not for samadhi.
okay. Some
No.
people talk
Samadhi
about.
needs to be there before Kundalini. Before Kundalini, you need to have samadhi.
So you have to know the things by the beginning. Like for example, I like tarot. Tarot, you know what it is? Oracle, tarot.
Yeah.
So you have many people teaching about tarot, but I know the tarot becomes in the Kabbalah. So I like to know the stuff, not by people saying of uh, try to teach something that I know that if I go, how you say, like you have the tree, and the tree is in earth by I forgot the word to tell what I want.
Roots.
Yes, the roots.
Yeah.
So I like that to know the roots. And you spoke about samadhi, that I heard about samadhi, and of course I want to know that or try to feel
It's
that.
on my podcast, you know. I've broken down everything in simple English. Even you'll get it. It's very
Okay.
easy to understand. Very simple English.
Yes. What I want to ask you is this:
Mm.
the psychic capabilities, like astral projection or clarividence by the chakra, that stuff can become a problem when you don't understand. It's more just, it's not about only that. The seeds, you call the seeds, yes. So what's your thought about that? The seeds and the conscious spirituality, the real
You know
spirituality.
why something doesn't go in a particular direction? Why does a car go into the gutter? You know, why do we have accidents? Because we are not really looking and steering with our three eyes. When you don't have samadhi and then you start kundalini processes, and you know somebody just reads an Upanishad or something where there is some techniques, and they start practicing those techniques without a guru to guide them, what can happen is you'll crash your car. You need somebody to teach you purpose, where to take this energy. This is energy. If you have too much energy and you don't know what to do with it, you'll just burn yourself because you can't hold that energy. So before we release the Kundalini for a student, we make sure that they know where the hell they're going. If they don't know where they're going, then they shouldn't be doing Kundalini pranayam or any other such meditations which come further to Kundalini. So
So it's
that's what it
something
is.
it's very serious, and it's, you have to have responsibility
Look,
in
every
that.
chakra is like a dressing room for the goddess. She comes into there and then she takes a beautiful form, and then you have to let her take her own time. If you do go on doing practice, make it rush. If it's not monitored by a guru, then she rushes through all that and she's angry with you because you didn't let her enjoy. She has come out in this form. They say that Kundalini goes here to meet Shiva. If you don't let her get dressed up properly in each chakra, then when she comes to Shiva, she'll be ugly. And Shiva might reject her. So that's why she gets very upset if you rush her. You have to have a relationship with her. It's a goddess living inside you. You have to treat her like a goddess. Kundalini is not your electricity that you switch on and switch off and direct it where you want. A goddess comes with three things. She comes with will, she comes with energy, and then she comes with knowledge. So there's a lot that you can learn from this goddess. And you have to learn. You have to learn about her in each chakra. You have to see her, you have to appreciate her, you have to say, wow, wow, wow. And then she'll take you to each and every chakra. But that's not how people learn Kundalini.
Yes, yes. And talk me a little bit about the chakras, man. It's the chakra is a center of energy in the specific points in your body. Is that a chakra?
Yeah, it's on the spine. You know, the lowest chakra is on the tailbone. If you look at
Yes.
the tailbone, it looks like a bull. If you see an image of the tailbone, it looks like a bull with ears. You know, it has a something projecting up horns here and ears. That's the place where Kundalini lives, and she's coiled up over there. Kundalini is coiled up like a very tight rope and very thin, and she's lost all energy there. But when you start energizing her, she's aroused only by sexual energy. And if your sexual energy is being wasted in all the places, then you cannot arouse Kundalini because Kundalini has to go through a nadi. The nadi is very thin to begin with, it's like a thread. But with meditation and concentration, you can make that nadi as wide as four fingers. Kundalini needs four fingers gap to go, okay? This much. It has to become this wide. So that nadi is called Saraswati nadi. On the outside, its external surface is called Saraswati. Its internal surface is called Arundhati. So unless you know the ways to arouse Arundhati, Kundalini will not rise. This whole channel, which goes to the head all the way to Shiva here, has to be widened, kept wide, and then the Kundalini will one, and the Kundalini needs to get heated. So when you heat the Kundalini, that's when this heat, sexual heat, gets channeled in here. That's what happens. Okay. So there are a lot of practices before that. You have to be in good health to do all these things. You can't do it when you're not healthy. Yes, it cures some diseases which you have. It balances everything in your body. But you have to do a lot of practice. You have to watch what you eat. You have to also watch how you sit, asana. Your posture is very important. So you maintain your posture as if you're carrying a goddess all the time. What you eat also has to be something sweet and something uh, which is soft. Soft, sweet things is what you eat, and you fill yourself up with that. Then you can maintain this, and then you have to do Shakti Chalana, which is moving the Kundalini up. That you have to do for many days, and the Guru has to be monitoring you so that no stupid thing happens. Because when Devi is dressing, she comes and she finds all her ornaments in the Mula Chakra. She starts wearing them one by one. When she starts wearing them one by one, sometimes she gets mad with desire. And you will feel that booming of sexual energy. That's not you, that's Devi. That's not time for you to go be promiscuous and have sex with everyone. So the Guru is there to slap you if you start feeling like that. Okay? Without a Guru, you will become a playboy, and you will just go on having sex with people because you have the energy. It's so easy now. You look at a woman, she wants to be with you. That stuff starts happening, and you shouldn't misuse that. And you should keep
Yes.
it inside you. You should keep it growing, keep it growing, keep it growing until it reaches the top. So she gets dressed in every chakra like more beautiful, more beautiful. You have to enjoy that journey. Men get confused. They start thinking that they are women. And this I've seen it happen to some swamis. They awaken the Kundalini and then they start dressing like women because they got confused. You know?
So let me. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So when you became that journey to start to practice the Kundalini stuff, you said that it's normal. You have you attract people by
Yeah.
that energy makes you attract people, but you cannot misuse that.
Yes.
So okay, it's like I said, it's very responsible.
Because they are attracted to the Devi in you, not to you. So
Not to you.
you got to be humble about that.
Yes.
And you should learn the behavior of a goddess. If somebody is attracted to you, you should have the compassion to explain to them that this is not important.
Oh, I understand. But some people use that to manipulate the
Yeah,
person.
they get into lust, and then they
Yes.
want to have sex all the time.
Yes.
So you should not be interested in that when you practice this.
Yes.
If you are learning sexual yoga, then it's different. But that's more advanced. First, you need to have an awakened Kundalini to learn sexual yoga. So that's completely different.
You make me remember the one when the when Yogananda in a book have the experiences, and then he wants to talk about that with his guru, Yukstur, and he said, very straight guy, Yukstur, and he say, so Yogananda wants to talk about that, and he say, now first you're gonna go clean, and then he clean again. So him to being in earth and not fascinating by you have to be balance. You have to have balance between, no, because if you became like very subtle energies, and you have to be with people, and you have a family and like that, you understand. So it's a balance between
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
what you kept by the chakras above you, and the chakras, because another thing that some people have to understand, and I think is a mistake, is like the chakras above, like Satsara and Ajna, all of that chakras is very important. But the other chakras, no. It's like it's not the same league.
Every chakra is important.
Yes. Yes, it's my opinion too, you know. I want to ask you
Like I
that.
told you, they are the dressing rooms of Devi, so you got to keep them there.
Yes.
And she comes in. It's also the stage of Devi. So there are many stages she goes through.
It's very interesting when you say that stuff, because you talk about your energy, your field, like you have those Kali and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
We have inside us. It's not something out of us. And
It's out also. So what is outside you is also inside you. That's what you realize. When these rivers awaken, Saraswati and Arundhati, when you look at them, they are like a universe in themselves. And you realize that, oh, I just have to change something here and something will change there. The human body has 5 sheets, and all these 5 sheets, all these 5 layers of the human body are called Karya Sharira. Karya means they are the effect. Okay? And then the Kundalini itself is called Karana Sharira, which is this body is the cause. So this divine body inside called Kundalini has the whole universe within it. If you make changes in the Kundalini, the universe outside will change.
It's raining in India right now.
Yeah, it's raining. It's rainy season. But is
but
the voice clear?
Yes.
Is my voice clear? Okay, good.
Yes, it's very clear. But it's hot in there, not cold.
It is cold. I don't feel cold.
You don't feel?
I can sit in the snow like this, no problem. I can sit in minus 20 degrees without my shirt.
Okay.
Because Kundalini is awake.
Okay.
It's a fire. It keeps you warm.
It keeps you warm. And it's possible, in the autobiography of a yogi, is some people don't heat to live. Is that possible too?
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
When your Kundalini is awakened, it's easy for you to not eat. You need to practice it, but like 3-4 days, no problem. Then you keep practicing. You can go for a long time without eating.
And the body is still healthy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is the source energy. Everything else projected out is the illusion. Whatever you're seeing outside is Maya. It's like, but in here is the real thing.
Yes.
So you can project whatever you want out there because you can change whatever you want in here.
I understand. I don't feel that, but I try to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting. So, Babaji, when start you to have that contact with Babaji?
I told you I met him when I was 12.
And it just appears to you?
Yeah, he came when I prayed to Shiva. That's when he came. I said, send me someone to teach me how to fight.
It's Babaji.
He sent me. Yeah, that was Babaji.
Okay. I thought it was another
I have only one guru, Mahatar Babaji.
Oh, I'm impressed right now. And first of all, Babaji is a person who experienced material life.
Who experienced material life?
Yes.
Many thousands of years ago. He's 2,700 years old. So when he was a child, he had to experience a lot of misery. He was sold off as a slave.
Okay.
And he had to go to Sri Lanka from Tamil Nadu.
And he stays in the spiritual plan of the earth, helping.
He doesn't need to stay anywhere because his real body is not really outside there. So he's in many places. His real body is in very deep meditation at a very secret place.
Okay, so he's not in the Himalayas.
He's plugged into the earth. He's living like a god.
Wow, it's everywhere. in the same time. Like, yeah,
He's mastered his Kundalini, so he can do whatever he wants.
yes. And you have contact with him all the time, like your mentor?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wonderful, man,
I'm
wonderful.
part of the lineage, so I always have access to him.
And sometimes he teach you things that you can say to us, like something not to do, what is important for us to not do or do.
So let me explain what he taught me about the mind. Okay, that'll be important for everyone. The mind is made up of two parts. I mean, it's the cause of the mind. The mind is an effect. Your mind is not a cause; it's an effect. Our consciousness, chitta, is an effect. It's not really the cause of things. We think we can cause things by our consciousness, but our consciousness itself is an effect. So, what causes the consciousness is something called a frame, which is called vasana. Okay, vasana is, we have a frame for everything. Like you and me are doing a podcast together now, and so uh, we know what we're doing. I'm talking about yoga. You're curious about yoga, so we're talking about it, and it's very clear what are we doing together. We're spreading the knowledge of yoga. And where are we? We are in a place with good internet where it can work. So this is a frame. Like this, we must have a frame for everything we do and why we are doing it. What are we doing together? Why are we doing it? Who's that person? Who is me? Where are we? So this is all stored and this is called vasana. All the information about all the frames is called vasana. When you add prana to a vasana, it becomes a mind. It becomes an individual consciousness, chitta. Okay? Then you start feeling I am. But first the vasana is there, and then to that we add prana, samira. It's called samira, but it's just prana. Okay? When we add life force into all the frames that are there, then it becomes mind. And so
And
we have to be very careful about not losing our prana, number one. And we have to be careful about not having bad frames. All our frames need to be clear. If you take care of these two things, then you'll become mentally very powerful.
tell me one thing. When you when a individual consciousness is starts and became in life and born, it will always be individual consciousness beside the material bodies that it experience, always be individual, or he connect once again with the source. You understand what I'm trying to?
No, we are not interested in that. If we don't want to connect to the source. We have to maintain our individuality, otherwise we can't enjoy the source. If you become the river, then how can you enjoy the river?
Yes, but it's infinite. Individual, feel like you are individual and connect with the all of the rest. it's
We are all
it's
connected, no doubt, but we have our own individual consciousness. We are all
okay.
connected, and there are many methods. When your Kundalini is awakened, it not only goes up, it also goes down.
Yes.
It can go very deep into the earth and connect to any human being. So that's how powerful it is. So Kundalini goes up, down, both ways.
Okay, but what I wanted to ask you is this. Right now, your name is Pachupati, but
Hmm.
your consciousness have another experiences probably,
Hmm.
and I know that we are infinite, but my question is, you can have all of the experiences in this earth, another orb, but your individual, we call here centella of your individual consciousness is going to be always individual. You not return to another place. It's going to your senses, feeling yourself, is going to be eternal.
Yeah, the self doesn't die, but the self doesn't have any attributes. Okay, that's what's explained in the Bhagavad Gita. that yourself doesn't get wet, yourself doesn't get dry, it doesn't get cut, it doesn't get burnt. You can't touch it. So definitely you can carry the memories that you have into another birth. You can carry the knowledge you have into another birth, and you'll be a new self. Even while you're living here, you can be many selves. You can see from the eyes of a bird how it's seeing. You can see from the eyes of God how it's seeing. You can experience many other selves, even being as yourself. So that's when your Kundalini is awakened, and then you can do these things. So then you're not missing any one perspective. It's not either this or that. You can have an individual consciousness, and you can feel as one too. There's no shortage. You don't
Yes,
have to give up your individual consciousness to be one with God. You understand?
I understand.
Ah,
And okay, and tell me one thing. When you talk about not dual, uh, Atva Vedanta, you're feeling like we all
Advaita. Yeah.
connect. Yes, you feel we all connected, and for some people it's complicated to understand the words by saying, "I'm not this body, and I'm also not this mind." Okay, philosophic speaking. Okay, what you think about that?
It's
You
useless. You have to be the body and the mind,
okay?
and you have to also be not the body and the mind. You can be all of that.
So the
Why does
Advaita,
it have to be Advaita or Dvaita, right? It's
yes,
not
yes,
Advaita or Dvaita. You need
yes.
both.
But if a person have so attached to material stuff, it's important to have that counterpoint of perspective.
It's important
No?
if he's suffering. If he's attached to material stuff and he's not suffering, then there's no need for any counterpoint. He can enjoy that. Don't
Yes,
disturb him. Leave him alone.
yes. I like your point of views. I'm growing by hearing you. So I wanted to be your study, to be my guru. uh, you heard about Portugal? No,
I know a little bit about it, not much.
not much. In the
Yeah.
past, we travel a lot in the boats
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
other countries. So right now we are a small country, geographic,
Mm.
and
Portugal had conquered small parts of India also, like Goa
Goa.
and
Yes, 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 yes. But not, right now, Portugal, a lot of people is becoming interesting in spirituality more than religious. You understand. So um, when I'm start to have the knowing that I have astral projection, it's not a dream. So it becomes interesting to make a channel in YouTube and start to talk with people. And right now, talking to you is another thing that it will be like for the channel grow up. It's and I'm very thankful for you to accept. And I want to talk about like, for example, the first time that I heard about samadhi, and I watch a movie that we have in YouTube freely of 2 parts, samadhi. And but I also heard about Ramakrishna when he touched in the Vivekananda and makes him starting to feel that state. I don't know how you call samadhi. It's like a feeling, or it's like a became connected with everything. And I want to ask you, you heard about Ramakrishna? What do you talk about Ramakrishna in India? Because I heard about Ramakrishna, but he was a guy. I thought he was just
I think nobody could understand what he was saying.
yes,
So Vivekananda was the one who put down all the teachings.
the teachings. Yeah,
Uh, but it was difficult because he would get into like these blissful states and he'd be somewhere else and he'll be like someone tripping on drugs. It's very hard
yeah,
to talk to him.
yes. But
But
you know,
he was truly a great saint, Paramahamsa. He was always in the lap of Kali.
yes. And you don't need to speak. the words, because the people
Yeah.
feel that
Yeah,
energy.
they feel it, yes.
That
Even
feels.
Ramana Maharshi never spoke anything. He used to just sit around.
No,
No,
never
he didn't
spoke.
speak much. I mean, he spoke, but when people asked him questions, he would just smile. He
Oh,
didn't want to answer
wonderful.
anything.
But
But sitting around with him, Papaji got enlightened, who's
wow,
a student. Just sitting with him.
just sitting
And
with
then
him.
sitting with Papaji, Muji got enlightened.
Wow.
So it's passed on. It's called Shakti Path. The Shakti from the Guru is passed on to the student. God is sitting on the head of the Guru.
Okay.
He takes some of that, and then he makes the student's head also a worthy seat for God. So then now he's part of the lineage. So
Wow.
usually you just touch the student here, and it happens when the student is ready.
Okay. So Ramakrishna was like right now in India is like a saint. Yes.
He's
Like
a
a
very respectable.
Jesus, like Buddha.
Yeah, like Jesus, like Buddha.
Yes.
He's reached the highest realms, Paramahamsa.
Ramahansa. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. I love the India spirituality, man, and I'm very fascinating. And I want to buy the Bhagavad Gita. So, but I think I'm not ready yet to read that and understand that, because it's
Yeah,
very deep, very deep.
yeah. You need someone to explain it. I'll be translating that also.
In your channel?
I don't have any other work to do, but I've already taken up a lot of translations. So when I finish with that, Bhagavad Gita is on my list. I will be translating it too. These will all become books as well in
Okay.
English. I'm going to make English books.
So we are in 2024, and in India, it's very different, the society, because India was very always like that spiritual energy, like no, many people wants to know India because that side of spirituality. Right now, how is India? Because we know now India have nuclear weapons and all of that stuff. So how you see your country right now?
India is struggling under colonialism even now. The people are dressed like butlers. When I look at them, I feel sad. They're wearing jeans. They're dressed like cowboys or butlers. You know, they don't want to wear Indian clothes. They don't want to wear because,
But you
and
think it's
they need to come out of that mindset because they're still like thinking about the world from the frames of the colonizers, and that's not the frame that we want here. So it's a work in progress. There's some very beautiful things about India. There's some very ugly things about India. But I love India, so I'm here, and
yeah,
I'm
all
going to
the.
make it better.
But you think that I think it can never vanish. Like you have some true gurus like you that cannot let India become another thing. I think in India always have that that spine. The
Yeah. I mean,
that
the
side.
essence of India are the gurus. When the gurus come back, India will be back.
Yes, man. So
India was a world leader in economy for thousands of years, and we can be that again. It's not a problem for us.
okay, so I want to talk more a little bit about one thing here and other countries. But when I read the autobiography of a yogi, I understand that here we call anemic, like potential individual, your potential. But we have another thing that we call medium interference, like when extra physical consciousness
Hmm.
communicate with you and make
Hmm.
you feel things
Hmm.
or give
Medium,
you
yeah. I know what a medium is, yeah.
yes. But when in India you don't talk about that terms. Not you
We have
Indian
we have
spirituality.
mediums. The mediums are called patris.
Patris, okay.
Patri in my part of the world, but in my part of India, but in other places they have various words for it. But there are mediums.
Okay. That it happened because when how we call Yogananda, when Yogananda have in meditation and he saw himself in America, so can be his potential.
Yeah, it's Kundalini yoga. He had learned Kundalini yoga, so he just saw into the future, and you can do that anytime.
And what's your thought about the future? Is something is not concrete because you always choose. So you access a line
Time
of
itself is an
possibility.
illusion. The future doesn't exist. Only now exists, and you can modify now if you learn how.
So when I access, sometimes it happens to me. I access by images in the front chakra or in a dream, and that becomes reality. I only access a possibility, probabilistic possibility. That was what is my pattern. Is my
Correct.
yes.
So that's your computer. That's not your perception. Your brain is doing calculations and is telling you this is probable. That's not perception. When you see perception, what you see will happen.
Okay, man.
Because you change it. When you look into the future, you change it. It becomes what you want.
And how I know that's my mind talking or is my consciousness side? You understand? How I say is not my ego that is telling me stuff, and it's my spiritual side. How you can know that?
By the intensity of the vision.
Okay.
By your senses again. So that's what I'm saying. All of these visions, if they're reality, then you will respond to them like they're real. If I dream that an elephant is chasing me, I will run because I'll respond like it's real. So the dream is real. But if I imagine an elephant is running behind me, I don't want to move. I can just imagine elephants running behind me. I don't want to move. So you know the difference between imagination and a dream. Dreams are real. Whatever you see in your dream is real. It's reliable information, is what I'm trying to tell you. Whatever you see in your dream is reliable information. So when you get into a dreamlike state while you're awake, and then you project, and then you see into the future, and you've really been there, that's reliable information.
Okay. So,
but the thing about the future is it hasn't come into existence yet. So you can change it if you don't like it.
Another thing I want to ask you, what's your thought about multiverse? You think it's possible to have another universes and another Guru Pashupatis with all not?
Yeah, you know how many Guru Pashupatis already exist? As many people as I know are carrying an image of me inside them. Whoever watches my channel is making a version of me. They're making a version of me. If they knew Kundalini Yoga, they could make a real me, one more version. It's no problem.
Yes.
There are multiverses. Every person is a creator of the universe. There's Kundalini Shakti in everybody. They're all creators. Everyone, every single human being.
Yes. Another thing I with the astral projections that I have, I understand that, for example, we have this plan, material plan, and you have a double very close to this plan when you see the same things. Yes. But sometimes in another order. So I became to understand that an object, for example, this can exist in another plan very close to this, and is it the time that it exists, it will be like more people watching this would plasm that form for more time. So this is what we say, that Pashupati is in another person's, like they saw you, so you became an existent in another people.
Each and every person who was a creator themselves, who sees me, creates me.
Creates you.
Yeah.
So everything that exists is because all of us make that happen. You understand?
Make it happen. We all have different versions of the universe. It's not the same for you and me. Everyone's is different.
Yes, but it's the same cosmic consciousness that makes...
It's the same mechanism, yeah. The mechanism is the same, but what they do with it is different, you know.
Okay.
Everybody who has a car doesn't go to the same place, you know. You can have the same car, but you can go to different places. So the body is a vehicle. It will take you wherever you want to go.
Okay, man. I grew up a lot with 1 hour of conversation with you, and your perspective is very... I feel like your perspective is very deeply perspective, and all of you say makes sense to me. But some things I don't have the wisdom like you to really understand. So I want to thank you once again, and sorry about my English, man. I will try to...
I think you did great. This is your first English podcast. Really good.
Oh, thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you very
I
much.
could understand everything you said.
Yes, thank you. And I want to ask you the last thing I want to question is, you like to see movies? You like cinema?
Yeah.
It's one film that you recommend for me, because I love movies.
I haven't seen a good one in a long time.
No.
The movies are really lousy.
Okay.
There are very few good movies that are there.
Okay.
I can't really remember. I haven't seen a movie for a long time though.
Okay. And the music side, you like mantras, all of that?
Oh, music! I make my own music.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I can't listen to anyone's music. We make our own music.
I wanted to hear that. How I hear your music.
I'll share it with you.
Okay, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna do the last to inform people about my Instagram, the podcast, and all of that stuff in Portuguese.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
we're still talking, man. And I want to, when I start to read in the Bhagavad Gita, when I have a thing I don't understand, I ask you.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you
All
very
right.
much. Thank you very much.
That's great.
E é isso, pessoal. Foi espetacular aqui, 1 hora de conversa com o Guru Pashupati. Como vocês viram, foi um desafio para mim, para conseguir falar em inglês, porque eu não faço ainda de maneira fluida, não a 100%, mas já deu para tirar aqui algumas conclusões e eu tentei tocar em assuntos para saber a perspectiva de uma pessoa que vive na Índia, ainda por cima uma pessoa que se encara como guru, e achei engraçado porque o título deste episódio era O Guru que Conheceu Babaji, e inicialmente na nossa conversa ele falou de um guru que conheceu quando tinha 8 anos de idade, e eu não tinha percebido que ele já estava a falar de Babaji como guru dele próprio. Claro que a gente deve sempre filtrar as coisas. Agora, a questão não é se é verdade ou não. A questão é que, efetivamente, aquilo que ele ensinou e aquilo que ele passou, as mensagens, têm uma perspectiva profunda e ajudam quando tudo é realmente compreendido. Por isso, só isso basta. Portanto, o foco não é tanto a verdade ou não verdade, ainda que com a filtragem, o foco é nós apenas captarmos aquilo que ele trouxe em ensinamento, e ele falou em coisas muito profundas. E é isso, pessoal. Muito obrigado por ficarem desse lado neste episódio especial com o Guru Pashupati, que se chamou O Guru que Conheceu Babaji, do Guru who met Babaji. E já sabem, sigam aqui o EntreMares no Instagram, entre.mares podcast tudo junto, e também sigam a TV Consciência Próspera no Instagram, e subscrevam o canal Hélder Correia Espiritualidade e Consciência, e também o canal TV Consciência Próspera, que o EntreMares só existe derivado a esta colaboração com a TV Consciência Próspera, com o apoio desse canal. Portanto, para todos vocês, muita paz e muita luz, e não percam o próximo EntreMares Podcast. Muito obrigado.